Good afternoon. It's a beautiful afternoon in Late Bloomers today. It's a gloomy day outside, but it is beautiful and colorful in the shop. So we are looking at some spring flowers that will be available for the next few weeks at Late Bloomers. And we also have a few little trinkets that you can use for decorating your house. And I'm here today with Pam on my left and Gwen on my right. And we'll talk a little bit about not necessarily the care of plants, but just the colorful addition to your house. So we're going to look, first of all, at the orange plant in front of Pam. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Pam?
That's an orange culantro, and they're more of a succulent. They don't like a lot of water, and they will rebloom again if you pinch the blooms down to the green part of the plant, and more of an indirect sunlight. Most of your blooming plants don't like a lot of the direct sun because that makes your plants bloom faster.
Well, I noticed I had one a few years ago too, and I ended up actually eventually putting it outside in the spring when, and I can't remember if it bloomed a second time or not. But you don't have to be limited to orange for that particular plant. There's other colors here too, so you can match up to whatever you like to have in your home. And next to that one is an orchid, and I do recognize that one. It's a very unusual looking plant. It has, in this particular case, this one is called Kaleidoscope, and it has a little streaky petals on the flowers on a cream background. I don't know how difficult orchids are. I've never had one on my own. I always shy away from anything I like good sturdy plants like Christmas cactuses and things like that will last for years. And then all of a sudden you look at it and decide it looks like it needs to be watered. So that's my gardening expertise. Following the orchid is a garden pot. Is it a garden pot?
It's a dish garden.
Dish garden, all right. And there's a number of different plants in there. And I had asked Gwen a question about this particular one. The peace lily, it looks like. Is that correct?
That is a peace lily.
Okay. Do you want to tell a little bit about it?
Yeah. The dish gardens are nice, especially if you only have a small area and want a wide variety of plants. We build our own at Late Bloomers. So the florists are very creative in how they put them together. They're always nice to be put in a ceramic container with rocks at the bottom so there's drainage for water. As you know, no plant likes to be sitting in water.
And I know I asked Gwen a question before we started about the care of peace gardens or peace lilies, because often they're given as funeral plants as well as some of the other green plants that are in the pot. And so I was just wondering if anyone has questions about that, about the care of those plants. You can call Gwen, or maybe she'll give us a quick rundown.
For me, the peace lily is easy to grow. It definitely lets you know when it wants water, it droops. Once again, it does not like to be sitting in water, and it likes indirect sunlight. And most plants, when you move them to your home, that's their home. So if you're moving them around in your house and you're finding that they're going dormant or dropping leaves, they like to stay where you put them. That becomes their home in your home.
All right. To the right of the garden that we just looked at is a number of bulbs, tulip bulbs, that are in a basket. It has moss over the top of it, and it looks like some pussy willows maybe that are in there, or some twigs, colored twigs. So we have some pink tulips. I did have a bulb garden in my house from another year, and it is something that you can plant outside with moderate success. Sometimes it does well and sometimes not particularly, but they are certainly really beautiful when they're just opening up. And in front of, let's see, that's the right direction. This is a purple hyacinth. And if you've ever smelled a hyacinth, you know that it has a very sweet odor to it. And it's absolutely wonderful to have it in your home in the spring when everything is brown and dull outside. The hyacinths are perfect. I know that there's a pink one around here someplace too, so you can get it in a different color. But this one is purple, and it does smell really good. So oops. I'm going to step up here and point to a couple of things up in front of the stand. I wanted to point this out. This is a little nest. It has eggs in it. The eggs are not real, of course, but it would be something that you could put on a table or someplace in your home. You could use it part of a table decoration if you wanted to use it on a dining room table, but it looks just like a nest with little speckled eggs in it. And next to that is the terrarium. And all of you probably remember when people were making terrariums in the past, and here's one that you can look at. It has some small creatures for spring, little rabbit and a bird. Also, it has some ceramic mushrooms, as well as some very, very tiny houseplants. And typically, a terrarium doesn't have to be watered as often as a potted plant, but it does add a wonderful feature, especially one that is this size. It does not require direct sunlight and would not do well in direct sunlight. In fact, the leaves would probably burn because of the glass. And next to it is the bulb garden, and I'm actually buying this bulb garden because it was so lovely, and it has the hyacinths in it. It also has tulips and some, I suppose these aren't pussy willows, but it could be anything else?
It's got daffodils in it.
Daffodils in it, okay.
Some little muscari.
Oh, some muscari. Ah, okay. So it has a number of different plants, and it's all covered up by some green moss. And the next one on the stand here is a hydrangea. And do you know, Pam, do you know anything about her hydrangeas?
The hydrangeas really like a lot of water. You almost need to water them every day. The blooms will start to droop when they need water, and you don't want that to happen because that's hard on the plant. So you don't want it like really wet, soggy, but you want it just to be moist.
And I'm assuming that this is not the type of hyacinth that you would plant outside.
No, this is an indoor hydrangea plant only, so it would not do well outside.
And for those of you who have ever had one outside, there are a number of varieties that are hardy to Minnesota that would give you some different colors too, besides just white. So this is an indoor plant. Back here we have some grasses in a little pot, along with some shiny eggs and a ribbon. So this would be used as a table decoration. Can you tell us a little bit about the grass?
This particular grass is wheatgrass. It needs to have a haircut every once in a while. This is a fun little arrangement, especially to have in your home if you have small children, because that's one thing they can do hands-on and clip the grass. It does definitely need watering, as you know, when you plant grass, it needs lots of water.
Okay. Well, here at Late Bloomers, there are a number of other things that you can look at when you come into the shop. There also is a line of new candy. We were encouraged to look at the candy when we came in. And there's a whole stand over here with some different kinds of candy, cards, different decorations for your home, all kinds of things to look at. And we thank Gwen for being here today for Do You Know? Not do you know, right? Take that off. I'm so used to saying, thanks for do you know. You can take off that whole last part.
Rudy looks at you.
I have no idea how I'm going to do that. Just say Master Gardeners will be done.
Okay. And we're signing off today for the Master Gardeners at Late Bloomers. And we wish you all a happy spring, and we'll see you next month.